Good morning, my beloved friend. I hope all of you are healthy, stable, and good spirit for serving our developing country. Today, I want to discuss about a critical building problem during construction, neither which can be termed as a fail or of any kind of failure, although there are severe structural cracks developed. I was appointed as a rehabilitated cons- consultant for a quite big residential building, about 22 stories building complex was constructed during 1920, 19, not 19, it is 2022, and I was appointed after just start commencement of second story construction. Initially, I was informed that there are serious foundation failure. Normally, when we when I say it is foundation failure, there might be some SBC failure or excessive settlement. Any one of region, the building may be termed as foundation failure. But for a 22-storied building, during construction of the two-storied, in such cases, it cannot be a foundation failure. I do. I am on principle. I am very difficult to digest this term foundation failure. The building was B plus Z plus 20. It is a residential building. There is a few blocks will be there. One first block had started with a RCC raft foundation. That too at a depth of 8 meters below ground level. I am in this profession for more than 5 decades. I had never seen and heard this type of foundation failure. I am confidently say our Indian professionals are quite compatible and capable minus our social recognition. Even our workmen are very much efficient in their own field. After getting some primary information, that is primary feedback I have been furnished by my client and project consultant, uh, they simply said that it is foundation failure. Under these circumstances, I consider some basic reason for foundation failure. It may be SBC failure, but we got some information that the envelope, field envelope was recorded at ground level, it is 20 and increasing up to uh, with a tendency of increasing with a depth up to 72 at a depth of 30 meter. And average envelope at the mid height of the raft is 45. So there it cannot be a found SBC failure since at 45 envelope SBC shall be around 30 ton plus 30 ton per square meter plus. So SBC failure has been ruled out. Settlement failure, it question does not arise because we are applying a load of up to uh, 2 story. Hardly how much? It will be less than 10 ton per meter square. But already we have excavated out the overburden material up to a depth of 8 meter, which is equal to 8 ton per meter square. If we consider 10 ton per meter square will be present current load, relief we are getting it is 8, 10 minus 8 equal to 2. At 2 ton per metric square meter, no structure can settle down because delta P plus P0 divided by P0, it will be very negligible amount, which is very negligible amount if we go for log 10, it will be point zero something. In such cases, there cannot be any settlement, and raft shall transfer the load to a quite depth below the raft. If we distribute the load at an angle of 30 degree, it will be very negligible at mid height. So there cannot be any settlement failure. Next question is design failure. Chances are very less because, as I know, the this the high-rise buildings normally, without any experience, no structural engineer going to design. And architectural design is not at all responsible for any type of failure since all loads are transferred to the raft for uniform distribution throughout at the same pressure intensity. So there may not be any design failure. Structural failure, yes, we noticed. There are a lot of structural failure we noticed. Very big failures. There are a lot of innumerable cracks throughout all these structure, innumerable cracks. I am not saying that this structural failure is mainly due to demerits of the structural design. No, not at all. There is no demerits of this structural analysis. Demerit, a main demerit is workmanship. Workmanship, poor grade of concrete, time factor, lack of proper supervision, quality control. There is no quality control at all. So all these workmanship problem produce these cracks. it will be very difficult to agree with me. This is the raft. You see, this is big pothole about 1 meter. Big pothole is there. In raft, it is a solid base. It is about 1 meter or more solid base. Just concrete should lay there, and with some vibrating concrete should lay there. There is in such so big pothole is there. How can I say that quality is maintained? How can I say it is a good workmanship? No one can agree that it is a good workmanship, good supervision, proper concreting, proper grade of concrete. No one can say. Let us see. This is at a 2 ton. Lot of structural cracks are there. As I told earlier, there is no the SBC or a settlement failure may be ruled out for the present situation. Design failure, I told earlier the architectural part has no role in foundation failure since rep foundation was provided at 8 meter below ground level for uniform loading, for uniform distribution of load and uniform same rate of uniform distributing below. So there cannot be any failure. Structural design was done by a renowned structural engineer and project consultant is a Delhi-based renowned company. In my opinion, it cannot be a foundation failure. But however, more often foundation consultants have to face the blame because it is very easy to transfer the demerits to lower down only. Soil is the being lowest one. So anyone can blame that the soil consultant did some mistake. But when average unbelief is 45, even if it is 20, in such cases also at 2 ton loading, 10 minus 8, 2 ton loading, no structure shall fail. I can I can say boldly, even at 2 ton load, uh, even we have 4 ton load, 3 ton load, for which and value is required how much? It is less than 10. We will be getting 2 ton or 3 ton, less than 10. In such soil where we are getting 20 at ground level, which has an increasing tendency up to 72 at 30 meter below the ground level, in such cases no structure can fail at a 10% of loading, which was designed for 28 ton per square meter. So we have myself and one of my assistant chartered engineer visited the site and we discussed, we so carefully examined all the structural members, raft, column, beam, joints, and cracks are carefully studied, cracks type, thickness, depth, pattern in details, and we discussed with the all workmen at site from site engineer to ordinary unskilled labor who was engaged for curing, watering for curing purposes. That gentleman also, we took their um, their involvement in the bill construction period, and all of them are trying to give some protection their own self, but these are all open secret. After discussion, we finally we observed poor quality, poor workmanship. In between, concrete is there, uh, quality control is included, supervision is included. It is a very poor quality. And time factor, not at all given appropriate time. For initial setting also, we require uh, initial setting and final setting we require almost in winter season. It requires for final setting, it requires about in 48 hours, not exactly 8 hours or 10 hours. Although company says that it is the 8 hours, but it in especially in winter season when temperature below 15 20, because our required temperature for curing is 27 degree. Artificially we cannot make our environment in winter about 27 degree, we cannot artificially make. So we have to accept the nature. We cannot overcome the nature. We have to accept the principle of the nature. So we must give additional time to proper curing. But in fact, we did not need it. So this is supervision. Uh, One gentleman roaming from this corner to that corner is not supervision. His responsibility is very difficult. His responsibility is so serious. Whole structure rests on his responsibility. As I say, there is no recorder available. What is the uh, cube strength? I, I do not see any cube mold there. Cube molds there, not cube crushing machine there. Just after mixed design, they are mixing the concrete, batching plant, they install batching plant, and from batching plant, they are sending concrete to the site, and there is no supervision. Quality sake, no step there, quality sake is there. I recall one of my old statement. I said in a conference, good workmanship with poor design is much better than good design with poor workmanship, which was that time very highly and sharply criticized. I was not going to blame anybody. I have never said that engineers are not at all responsible, but I want to give more importance on workmanship. But that was misinterpreted during that time. Now, many a time, I saw these things only. There is some photographs we have collected, and all these photographs shall speak the mode and pattern of cracks. In my opinion, all professional, each and all should respect to own profession since we are seller and buyers satisfactions are reward. Professional means we are selling our technical know-how, and when our buyer shall satisfy, we shall, it is our rewards. You see, this is the raft. This is the raft. Here, without without backpedaling the side of the raft, without backpedaling this, because it is basement, so it is ground floor slab. This basement, it should be filled with, because during excavation, the load at the raft will be not uniform, because there will be some lateral support shall be necessary. Without lateral support, here it is a 8 meter on raft, here it is 8 meter outside, 8 meter, 8 meter by 1 meter, so 8, 2.5, how much? It will be 16, 20. So in between, in the middle portion, except the peripheral wall, middle portion there will be very less amount of load. So there are chances of settlement from outside also. If we have backfilled it properly before raising other structures, then there shall be no further cracks, probably. You see, these are the cracks, you see. These are cracks. This is a big cracks. It is visible. From other side also it is visible. This you see. Column beam joints crack. This is column beam. It is beam, it is column. You see. This is column. This is column. And this is beam crack. Here also lot of micro cracks are there. These are all micro cracks. This is also, not only this is one crack, there are a lot of cracks. Everywhere there are a lot of cracks. Here also there are a lot of cracks. If you see from this side also, there are a lot of cracks. Here you see one crack, again another crack. These are a lot of cracks already developed. This is, you see, beam junction. This is the column, and this beam is this is the joint, this cracks. And already I said it is the pothole of the raft. After seeing this pothole of the raft, I cannot say that the concrete quality is good enough. I shall be now going, there is some, on my instruction, they have conducted lot of and other, earlier also they have conducted some non-destructive concrete test using N-type hammer. It is a good hammer. It is corresponding to 150 mm by 150 mm cube concrete. Almost 95 to 99% accuracy is there. Not less than 95, and up to 95 to 100 100% same parameters I observed in my laboratory and site. I am observing this accuracy is 0.95 to 0.99, 0.999, like that. These cracks are mainly due to poor workmanship consisting of quality, time factor. We did not allow sufficient time to final setting. For final setting, as I told, in winter 13 degree, 14 degree during temperature 13 degree, that normal 8 hours, 10 hours initial final setting is not sufficient. It may require 3 4 days for setting. For initial setting also it may require 1 day, which normally be less than 60 minutes or like that. Uh, Quality supervision and monitoring. In the absence of these things, this uh, structure has been severely affected. You see, this is the cracks on the raft. It is a long line. It is the long line. As I told that the outer surface is not cup, backfill was not done. So this at the middle of this raft, these cracks had been developed. Here also, these cracks had been developed. These cracks, it was later on. It was just try to try to rectify, making some rich mortar, patching little rich mortar. But which is useless. Why they are doing this, I do not know. In a word, all structures are so severely affected that one can easily claim as a failed. There will be only option to dismantle it again, restart the construction from initial point and go up. However, in my opinion, it is not failure. It is merely a serious and critical construction problem, which is our self creation. We have created own self, ourselves. We have created this problem. Further, economy, that is time factor. Time is we are trying to save time only because of economy. Time economy may in time became more costly. As I told, there is no proper supervision, and because based on my experience, based during visits, what I find, the uh, structure was designed with a concrete FCK, which is called compressive strength of concrete, crushing strength of the concrete is 25 MPa. That is 25 Newton per millimeter square. The, instead of 25, what we require? Instead of 25, we require our targeted strength shall be 32 MPa, because 25 plus 1.65 into 4, so our targeted strength is 31.6, round up, it is 32 we require. If 32 we get, then our structure, we say that our design is for M25. But In this case, 32 is question does not arise the targeted strength of 32 MPa. Mostly it varies from 12 to 1 or 2 tests it was found 20, rest almost it is around 15, average we can say 15. If we are getting 15 standard and we neglect the standard deviation, how much it will be the M12? So M12 cannot be used in RCC structure. It has no strength only. It is for it is some mass concrete work. Up to M15 it is mass concrete work. For mass concrete also, for M15 also, we need it is about about our targeted strength shall be about 17.5. Then only we can go for M15. Here on targeted strength of 15, we are going for 32. So almost concrete shall fail undoubtedly. Slight, in case of slight variation due to particular rearrangement, because some sometime rain may come, sometime temperature may increase, sometime temperature may decrease, and because of no backfill was there. For this reason, these are creating this problem. And you see, here, you see, this is this type of potholes in a mass concrete. The RCC base for 28-ton RCC base, the thickness of the base is more than 1 meter. And under these circumstances, and this critical construction problem which we have created, we should go better go for rehabilitation works. And in my opinion, besides workmanship, all the codes, neither 456 or NBC, National Building Code, IS, it is National Building Code is published by IS. So these codes are not strictly followed. Earlier I said M12 to M20. In few comparatively 5% location they get 20 and rest 12, 15, 17 like that. Mostly in 15. So no proper material test records available, no concrete test, cube test record available. So how can I say that this quality is as per requirement? Anyway, quality standard for rehabilitation works, quality standard and time factor was considered very essential. There is a prabha, bhari, ends bari. Hari ends bari. If we are going hari, we may lose something. Before our visit, they have started, they have prepared some surface uh, surface jacketing for jacketing the structure. They have done some cutting and removing some areas for additional jacketing with M40 grade of concrete. And we have suggested this jacketing work should not be done right the moment. The jacketing work should be before jacketing work. All structural members should be strengthened using epoxy grouting with a professional, engaging one professional agency. Then only rest phase they should start the jacketing work. So soon after jacketing, soon after epoxy grouting, we advise them to check the strength very properly using ND hammer, preferably N-type hammer, not uh, ordinary hammer, so that whole results are coming. And during selection of graph and in N-type hammer, selection of graph is there is an option in the software. Selection of graph not uh, other than ASTM curve. ASTM curve is most purposeful and very informative, very it is very it is reliable. After due consideration for rectification and rehabilitation of the structure, we have recommended a few simple precautionary measures for the safety of this high-rise building. Number one, as I told, strengthening of structural members may be done along the crack lines using epoxy grouting to attain FCK greater than 32 MPa. In such cases, we can adopt 25 grade of concrete. After grouting RCC works, RCC structure, jacketing of structural member with M40 grade of concrete, please target, please target the targeted strength of 48.60. 48.60, then only we can adopt 40 MPa. So to get 48, 48, 48.6, it is 49. Then we shall go for 50 mixed design. The so limiting stage, mixed design shall not be so limiting stage. It is not mathematical calculation. We should go for actual value, strength. Stage-wise, some ND tests shall be conducted, and mixed design for M50 is recommended. After that, during these cracks, there may be uh, somewhere overloading or somewhere it is low loading, some vibration of soil formation also there. So we suggested them for cement grouting of the foundation soil using angular and vertical grout hole with 1:1 cement water for rearrangement of soil structure, particular rearrangement. Rearrangement means I am not going to say the whole soil system shall be said, but there are some particular displacement is there. For rearrangement of the particles, we have to go for cement grouting. for thixotropic regain of lost soil strength. It will be very, very purposeful. The soil shall behave like a reinforced soil. After cement grouting, properly grouting, 30 degree or 25-degree if we grout from one end to other end, it will be possible, one side to other side. So that agency, if it is a professional agency, they can calculate at what angle it will be going there and from how much distance it can be grouted. All construction work shall be as per IS specification or ASTM specification very strictly. To this context, I am very much thankful, and I also request all of you, my beloved friends, all of you to acknowledge the credit of our young chartered engineer who had successfully completed all the processing works, calculation works, and uh, he had, for his dedicated hard work, I am possible to recommend the details to my esteemed clients. If my client follow this, I shall be happily happy. I shall be very much grateful to him, so I can be feel proud that I would able to save at least 1500 life of 1500 people. For this, thank you, Mr. Shekhar. Shekhar is our chartered engineer. He is always working with me. So from my side, I thank him for his dedicated hard works, and I request you to also to acknowledge his hard work. Thank you. I am always available for any discussion, anything. I always available at jcgogoi@gmail.com. Thanking you. Please have a sweet, pleasant, and nice day. Please be happy. Please be healthy. Please be blissful and long contented life. Thank you, my friends. For today, I want to leave you. Thank you, thank you, thank you all.